Alright, good to go. I will do a quick countdown. So, just a little bit about this category. This is playing the game on second loop. So, you just saw a bunch of players beat the game the first time. The second loop, there's going to be more enemies with more health. And I'm going to impose upon myself a extra rule where I'm not allowed to pick up any sub-weapons or any whip upgrades. So this is a low percent second loop, low percent hard mode, however you want to call it. It's going to be a little bit more grindy, and it can go bad. So let's hope that we have a good run for you here, guys, and no unintentional game overs. So countdown here, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So one of the things that I'm going to do with this run is I am not going to, well, basically you would reset if you picked up a whip upgrade or something like that. It essentially invalidates the run, but for the marathon here, what's going to happen is if I end up picking a whip upgrade or a sub-weapon up, then I will just kill myself and start from the previous checkpoint. So here, these enemies just all take more hits to kill. Bats, even early game. Well, early game bats die with one hit, but after that, bats are going to take multiple hits. And lots of damage boost just to get through parts a little bit quicker. So that was unfortunate. Alright. It wouldn't be a marathon run without a death right in the first level. Not sure why I took that hit through the bullets, but I had to move an extra little bit forward here so the skeleton on the bottom wouldn't hit me with his bone. But deaths in this aren't nearly as costly as in any percent because I don't have any sub-weapons to actually hit. So we're gonna hit the meat upgrade here and the potion. So I'm going to try and get past this bone pillar, which is an extra enemy in hard mode, so I can boost off the bat and get through this guy. It's just a matter of reacting to the different movements that enemies give you. And for the first couple levels, I'm actually just going to be going as quickly as possible. Safety is thrown to the wind. And you'll notice just like a single hit on an enemy will do enough to slow them down that you can normally squeeze past them somehow. We're going to see that a little bit later here on this screen. Trying to jump to spawn those Medusa heads a little bit higher. Yeah, you whip this guy and it stops his movement enough that you can just barely get underneath him, or at least try to. So, no sub-weapons, the bosses you actually have to fight legit. Okay, so what I did there is called a quick whip, where if you whip and then press the down button, you can cancel your whip quick enough that you can whip quicker than intended in the vanilla game. And I'm going to be using that all over the place. It's risky to go for, because if you cancel your whip too soon, it's only going to count as a limp whip hit on an enemy, and in low percent that basically just counts as not hitting the enemy. And RNG is a little rough here. And a lot of these enemies, they're going to take, like, instead of taking 2 hits with a chain whip and the regular playthrough, they're going to take 4 hits with the leather whip. The leather whip does about 2/3 the damage of the chain whip. But the increased HP is really what's going to throw things off. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm going to take 2 extra hits here. Might have to go for the big meat at the end of this stage, just for safety. These birds, unfortunately, you can't limp whip to kill them either. You have to hit them with a direct whip. So you don't have quite the same safety as you would with your chain whip. And yeah, the frogs are just a nightmare. You just have to get all your whips at the right time, otherwise the bats are going to get you. It's really the big thing that you'll notice your first time playing second loop. It's just bats are everywhere. Just let that guy despawn. Taking any hits before Medusa. Medusa's probably the scariest boss. But we made it through. When you have no crosses to rely on, all these bosses are just absolutely terrifying. Gonna go for some quick whips here. Normally you damage boost over these guys. It's just not really something that's viable with the amount of health I have right now. I've been playing with a new route where I will damage boost or like take an intentional death at the beginning of this section to refill my life. But I'm not 100% sold on it just yet. Alright, so this next section, if I can jump over this guy, that kind of clears everything else up here. Should be good. Take 1 boost off of this. Jump. Good to the last drop. All the health. Yeah, the music in this game is fantastic. It's one of the main things that keeps me playing it. Along with the compelling gameplay. Ooh, that's a 4-hit. Okay, we're gonna have to change plans here. I have a bunch of really quick strats that I can do, but if I take too much damage, then they kind of just make it too scary. We need to hit the end of this checkpoint without dying, especially for marathon safety. Take hits off the bullets instead of the enemies there. Okay. So now that we've hit this checkpoint, we're actually going to take an intentional death just to fill up our health so we can make it through the next couple sections. This is one of my favorite parts of the game, and as long as it goes well, it looks really cool. Especially with this category. Didn't mean to take that hit. Okay. That was a little sketchy. Okay, I gotta watch out for this bat and jump enough times that I can spawn that fuzzball in a way that he's not gonna harass me at all. I still have enough health here to go for the eyeball boost. Limp whip there. There might be some quicker ways to take care of these enemies, but You have to keep in mind that you do not want to hit any unintentional candles, otherwise things are bad. 5, 6, 7, 9. Just making sure I spawn the whip upgrade over there, so I don't have to wait for it to despawn. For safety here, we're actually going to farm this meat. And also reset that room's RNG. Okay. Going to take all the hits. So right here, quick whip. Oop. Oh, turning around. Quick whips on stairs are kind of tough. Because if you cancel and hold the button any longer than the cancel, Simon will turn around, so your next whip will actually be in the wrong direction. Okay. I'll let this guy do his thing. These birds are the worst. Yeah. You have to hope that the bird starts moving and you can commit towards it. But honestly, like, this is where most of my runs of this category die. In the early game, that is the birds here on this particular screen. They don't move the right way. There we go. If he... And he'll generally will move forward. But if he pauses at all, sometimes if you don't whip at the right time, he's gonna get you. Because then all of a sudden you have to worry about the fuzzball, the bird, and the bone dragon behind you. Yeah, and you have to do the moonwalk for fun. Alright, pretty solid low percent dragon fight. The hardest part is just learning how to stay close enough that you can hit them without getting hit yourself. It's just a matter of doing iterations of the fight and learning what works and what doesn't. Oh no. That didn't catch me. I think we're actually going to take an intentional game over here. Because of the other deaths that happened, I need to be able to die and not game over later on in this level. There's a couple spots that'll just get you. That's a new strategy that I've been working on, boosting off that skeleton and still having the right pattern on these lifts, but it doesn't always seem to work. And that skeleton is one of the worst. So we'll farm this meat again too. This is one thing that is really important if you're ever thinking about doing this category, is learning where the meat is. This guy. And which ones are farmable. Alright, limp whipping above me to take out these darn peanuts. Wexel is probably the second scariest boss, apart from Medusa in the early game. Because yeah, in any percent, most of these bosses are just little caveats to the stage instead of actual, like, giant parts of the time in your RNG. So we always like to christen these guys as they come by. Sometimes you can get them to go in a different direction after you hit them. I'm not exactly sure why that happens. Yeah, Terra. No whip upgrades, no sub-weapons. It's a self-imposed restriction. Yeah, it's basically Buster only. That's a good way to put it. I probably could have got that, but I just want to be sure that I hit this checkpoint. This screen, like you saw in the race earlier, and Megas explained, you want to keep your forward momentum pretty much the entire time in order to make sure that you spawn everything in the right way. I took a forward damage boost there, so I needed to actually pause a little bit because I would have been too far ahead on the cycle. Health is going to be a little bit sketchy on the boss now. Really want to jump over him. Good. Yeah, if I was gonna play a really, really difficult category of this game, I'd probably try and pick up Pacifist %, because that's nearly impossible. And the most hilarious thing is that the, oh shit, we're actually gonna miss another cycle here. Did that backwards. Yeah. Pacifist % where you're only allowed to attack bosses, and that's it. Not allowed to kill any other enemy. And it really just makes the stopwatch the best weapon. Yeah, this is what happens when you miss that cycle. Don't crush me. So this boss, it's just about an awareness of where he is versus you. Yeah, got the turnaround there again. Okay. Definitely have enough health here. First couple hits here follow a script, and then everything after that is just kind of reacting. Big booty right in the face. Oh god. Okay. Took that pretty safe at the end just to make sure nothing too terrible happened. And that's one of the things I really like about this category, is every boss fight, because it's difficult, it feels clutch. Now onto the best part of this game, the RNG harpies. Frog was kind, and no harpies in this first section. And it's not in my face. Wow, no harpies in the second harpy section either. That's insane. Don't even care. We got 0 harpies. That never happens. Like, when does this game ever give you 0 harpies? Okay, a few more damage boosts. And now the game starts to get even more difficult. Now you can't kill a bat with a single whip. If you're ever playing this category, always kill the dog. I would generally go for quick whip strats here, but unfortunately all these candles will drop me a whip upgrade, and it's just a little bit too dangerous. So of all the levels in the game, I think Stage 9 is probably the more difficult, but this level, and especially its second checkpoint, is just kind of really crazy. And we're going to take a nice, safe, marathon safe 3-cycle. Because normally this would lose you about a minute and any percent if you died. Well, you don't have to go into the secret room in this category. The first screen is a lot slower because of low percent strats. And we are going to pop into the secret room here just to pick up some meat. Simon's looking a little unhealthy. Yeah, this checkpoint right here is the bane of my existence. To do it quickly is... the execution required is just insane. So I'll probably go for a slightly slower but safer strat. Yeah, normally I would leave these guys alive and take... because if the first set of ectoplasms are alive, the second set won't spawn. And the ectoplasms are the rainbow creatures, if you didn't realize. Good pattern on these guys. Almost. Why is that bat so slow? Oh my god. Oh. I double spawned that skeleton. That could have been real bad. Alright. So, onto the skeleton hellway. Basically just gotta pray. Oh yeah, we're toast. Especially if this red guy follows. We might be okay. We're going to try a death on transition glitch here. Instead of going for the meat, if you die on transition, you actually gain full health. In an any percent run, it's not really viable because you lose your whip upgrades and your sub-weapon, but since we're not really playing with any of those, it's just a free health upgrade. And we somehow despawn that skeleton. I'm not going to argue with that. Okay, jumping over these tables is tight. 2 out of 3 so far. We have enough health that we can just tank through the rest of this, hopefully. Yeah, all these guys are going to be coming. Oh, wow. I think that's probably the luckiest setup I've ever had there. Alright, pretty solid stage 6, actually. Not quite a gold, but I'm about... Like, versus my PB, I just saved 30 seconds on that stage alone. A little bit behind because of previous deaths, but... Overall, this is going really good. This stage has probably the tightest health routing. If I take any extra damage on this first screen, I'm toast. Yeah, 6 health is exactly what I want for here, so we can boost through this guy. Hopefully that didn't hit me again. Good. I was worried for a second. Alright, so I'm going to try for the book jump here once. If I miss it, we'll just take it a little bit slower. Make sure that we get through. Don't waste too many lives. Oh, yeah. You want to do the book jump and jump over that skeleton, which is really tough. Gonna be an extra guy here, where if you're not used to hard mode, that guy will get you at least 2 or 3 times in a row before you clue in that he's actually something you need to worry about. Okay, and I still got hit by the dog. We're gonna try and... Ooh, okay. I have to take this part a little slow. Because those bats are impossible to dodge. Pretty much impossible to dodge. Taking good care not to hit that candle. You pretty much just want to tap the whip button once. You don't want to hold it by any means. So like I said in the race there, this boss is incredibly random and difficult to deal with. So just fingers crossed, send me your energy. Hopefully he just gets aggressive and gets right in my face, because that's kind of what we're looking for. Yeah, we got hit again. Despawn the last enemy. Yeah, this is gonna be tight. How did you throw your axe when I'm that close? This is pretty much what you want him to do, is get stuck in this attack cycle. Oh, shoot. Oh, that was about 2 frames from death. He was winding back there to take the hit. So this is probably the stage I die the most on, but it's because it's stage 8. I'm gonna go for all the good stuff here on my first life, and if things still don't go well, I will probably just take it nice and safe just to get through the stage. Already kind of messed up a little bit. Okay, boost. No, that's not good. Okay, we're in pretty bad shape here. Health is actually super bad. I'm not sure if we're actually going to make this here. Oh my god, there's two of them there. That's what's going on. Managed to double spawn this guy. Yeah. Notice how he was firing really quickly? That's because, based on how I moved, two of the bone pillars ended up spawning, so it just didn't give me any reprieve. Stage 8 is the worst stage. I might dislike Stage 6, but Stage 8 is the worst. Should be good here. Yeah, this is where most people's progress through the game slows down. Level's pretty ridiculous. Like a lot of other Castlevania, spikes are not one-hit kills. That was way too high. Blink, jump, jump over this guy, boost off this guy. Good. As long as we hit this checkpoint. After you get through that section of Stage 8, everything else is super easy. Not necessarily easy, but a lot more safe. Whoops. So I was trying to damage boost through these spikes, but I hooked onto the stairs. Yeah, the bridge is probably the worst thing. So I had to move in a certain way to kite those eyeballs, so they weren't going to be in my way. Got the meat here. So there's a slightly faster way to do this fight with quick whips, but I'm just going to go for the consistent way. Just stand in front of him, whip up, and try and whip all of his potions as they come out. Oh, wow. Okay. The next stage will turn into bats. This stage. And speaking of nasty checkpoints, this checkpoint is one that can just get you based on RNG. The skeleton at the end of this second screen here, if he... Basically we have to lose two 50-50 RNG roll checks. There's about 1 in 4 times that he'll just kill you unless you make frame perfect inputs. I don't like all these hits. And the parting bone from that jerk. Taking advantage of that rosary. Just blow up all those bad guys instead of whipping all of them. So yeah, this skeleton, if he jumps and moves forward, he threw a bone, so we're good. Alright. So this is the checkpoint, and everything else is pretty easy peasy after that. Ooh, he moved in a weird way. Oh god. Kind of tempted to just pop in the secret room and grab the big meat. Yeah, well now we don't have to because we died. Luckily the checkpoint's right there. Missing the jump over that guy is pretty bad, though. Should be hitting that pretty much all the time. Yeah, that's bad RNG on that skeleton, too. One hit. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do, is I'm going to take an intentional death if I pick up a whip upgrade. Luckily, other hearts and stuff don't really matter. So, 22 with a chain whip, we need to do 33 hits. 6, 7, 9, 10. I'm a little off. 30, 31, 32, and I'm just gonna wait for him to make another swoop. Because this fight's a lot easier when you kill him low. Okay. Die now. Thank you. Yeah, we saved about 1 minute and 16 seconds versus my PB on that stage, because this is where my death is in my PB. Yeah, I definitely say a lot of we, because we are in this together. I'm not sure if you guys realize this, but if I don't make it through this level, we're actually all gonna die. Alright, getting pretty lucky with movement. Go, go, go. Nice. That was really good. He's gonna jump. Yeah. I could have avoided that hit if I really tried. Notice there's a missing cog on that wheel. Pretty much have to kill all those guys, unfortunately. Luckily, the Medusa heads still only do 1 damage. Alright, so this next section I'm gonna go for the tough thing once. And if it doesn't work out, then we'll just do it nice and safe. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. I'm going to do a quick pause buffer here to see what RNG we get. We got a low axe. Shoot, okay. I guess we're taking this safe next time. That was not the RNG we were looking for. Okay, wait for this guy. Really want to try one more time though. Okay, we got it. Said I was going to do it the safe way, but kill them all. Alright, so in regular any percent, this boss is pretty RNG heavy, so just multiply that by a bajillion here for low percent. Trying for some quick whips here. I did get some extra damage. This is the worst spot that he can spawn. The only way you can hit him is with a downward diagonal whip. At least he did bandages, so I can get a bunch of hits in. If he does fireballs here, this position's even worse. You're gonna get hit. Trying for as many quick whips as I can get. I don't think I can do 3 pips in this cycle. Maybe if it's bandages. Definitely not if it's these fireballs. Next cycle, no matter where he is, we should be able to get him. Yeah, stage A is pretty crazy. Still on pretty good pace here, though. Oh. That's not good. Those extra hits there almost for sure mean that we're going to enter Slogra at not full health. Yeah, Mummy, if you break him down, he's not too bad, but there's certain spawn positions that are especially dangerous. Like if he spawns in the middle, he starts being mobile, and you can't really count on where any of his attacks are going to land. Alright, so we're going to take this path instead of the other path, just because of this extra enemy from hard mode. And in this next section right here, we're going to be facing off against Gandalf, the most troll skeleton in the entire run. If he decides to jump down, which he doesn't, he was nice. He can be really tough to deal with. If he stays up on that platform and you move quick enough, you should be able to take him out without much issue. But the problem is, in low percent, your whip is a lot shorter, so just give this level a try and see. Oh god. Okay. Gotta watch out for this skeleton up top, he might jump. Alright, so now this is just like low percent. The hard mode's gone, the second loop is gone. Bosses don't get any more health or anything with the second loop. Yeah, this boss has iframes, so you kind of have to wait to whip him. If you whip too early, ugh. If you whip too early, then you risk him dashing into you. He might just dash into you anyway. It's a little bit rare in the first cycle since he has so many attacks. That's 2 in like the first couple cycles here. That's bad. Nothing I can do there. So here I'm trying to time my jumps. That one wasn't timed so well. There's like 2 sound effects that are made when he lands. There's a boom and then a second boom. Oh god. You kind of want to jump on the second boom so you can jump over his attack. You're not trying to jump away from his attack. Oh. Slugger let us go through. Lucky we made it through with the 2 phase 1 dashes. Two, 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Too many hits. Oh my god. You die already. Don't think we're gonna sub 50, but we should sub-estimate, which is nice. That was an intentional death. I need all my health for this boss. Die already. Yeah, this fight is ridiculously tough casually. Once you learn the timing and you're able to sort of hit him while you're taking out his flying sickles, then you're okay. So, intentional game over here, again, just for a health refill. God bless endgame checkpoints. Alright, so the low percent Drac fight. It's pretty tight, but as long as you get about 3-4 hits a phase, then you should be good. In the first cycle, that is. Or the first phase, that is. 3-4 hits per cycle. 7 altogether. So this next time, if we get all the hits, we should get a meat. Bad fire spawn. You want to get him 5 hits per phase, or per cycle here. Sometimes you just can't. No, not quite. The problem with going for the 5-2 is your last whip will cause a lot of lag if you don't hit. Alright, we got the meat, full health, we should be good here. Yeah, it's pretty insane that we're so close to $1,000. Here we don't even really need to care about health. Alright, we did it. So time will be here on the orb pickup. And this run will be pretty much exactly on my average run. So that's awesome. Boom. That run is always pretty